Once upon a time, a wealthy man had a son named Chris. The man owned several businesses both locally and internationally and had numerous servants to handle household chores. One day, Chris felt like eating chicken. He went to his father's poultry, took a chicken, and prepared to slaughter it. As he was doing so, one of the servants saw him and shouted, "Chris, what have you done? How can you slaughter a chicken without permission? I'm going to report you to your father." Chris panicked and pleaded, "Please, don't expose me. My father will be so angry with me." "Yes, he will," the servant replied, "but I still need to report you. Please, I beg you. Don't tell him, I'll do whatever you ask." Chris promised desperately. "Is that a promise?" The servant asked. "Yes, I promise," Chris affirmed. "All right," said the servant. "As long as you keep your side of the agreement, your secret is safe with me." From that day on, the servant began to take advantage of Chris. Whenever food was served, the servant demanded the meat from Chris's plate. To reinforce his control, he would sing in the presence of Chris's parents, "Remember the chicken you stole." Out of fear, Chris complied with every demand. The servant later began to take Chris's lunch money and made life increasingly difficult for him. Chris grew lean, became distracted in school, and struggled emotionally. One day, Chris's friend noticed his struggles and asked what was wrong. Chris confided in his friend, who advised him to tell his parents the truth. "They will forgive you," his friend assured him. Encouraged, Chris went home and confessed everything to his parents. To his surprise, they hugged him warmly and said, "Chris, you didn't do anything wrong. Everything we have belongs to you. Your only mistake was not asking the servant to prepare the chicken for you instead of trying to do it yourself." Chris felt an enormous sense of relief. That evening, during dinner, the servant began his usual song. "Remember the chicken you stole." This time, Chris ignored him. The servant grew bold and threatened, "I'll expose you if you ignore me again." Chris calmly continued eating. Frustrated, the servant went to Chris's parents and told them everything. After listening, the parents asked, "From all you've said, what exactly was Chris's offense? Don't you know that everything we have belongs to him? The only mistake he made was not asking you to prepare the chicken for him." They then commanded the servant to obey Chris's instructions from that day forward, because Chris was the heir to all they owned. The servant was left disappointed and ashamed. Dear friends, this story illustrates God's love for us. God is not mad at you, He is madly in love with you. The Bible declares in Romans 8 verse 1, "There is no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus." Nothing can separate you from the love of God or make Him abandon you. However, many of us struggle because we don't know our rights in God. Things worsen when we fail to understand who is truly in charge. The book of James for verse 12 MSG says, "God is in charge of deciding human destiny." Who do you think you are to meddle in the destiny of others? No one has the right to dictate your destiny. Only God is in charge. Don't let anyone intimidate you with lies or deceit. Stand firm in your inheritance as a child of God and reclaim what is rightfully yours. Note, when the devil reminds you of your past, remind him of his future, which is in hell. God bless you.